Assalamu alaikum. Assalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Today I would like to share with you an important life lesson that is always relevant to every Muslim. Something that can never be overstated. Something that we need just like the water we drink. In this particular verse that I'd like to share with you from Surah Al-Hadid, Allah Azza wa Jal basically takes few words and draws a picture of one's entire life. This is part of the nature of Quran and Allah's words, as He may mention in just a few words but capture several big lessons. In these few words, Allah Azza wa Jal has drawn a comprehensive image, a comprehensive illustration of entire life. He begins with أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعلموا إنما الحياة الدنيا لعب. The word أعلموا, and in English the word means know, but in Quranic expression it means you had better come to know, you better realize إنما الحياة الدنيا. This worldly life is not. Then it goes to say, and whatever it says next means nothing but. Then it says la'ibun, nothing but play. Which is curious because those of you with children know what is the most important thing to a child. It's play. After eating and sleeping, they like to be played with, tickled with. They want to be carried. All they want to do is to play. That's the most important thing for them. Their world revolves around playing, as they want your full attention. But then, as they grow older, as you witness their growing up, their interest changes. They want to be told a story. They want to sing along with you. They want to watch cartoons or something. They want to be entertained. So, not just to be played with, but also to be entertained. So Allah Azza wa Jal says, لَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ, play and entertainment. And then they get past that stage too. This confused stage between childhood and adulthood is years where you are in between and you are anticipating that you are turning into an adult. These are the years known as teenage years. And you notice the behavioral change, and this is true regardless of culture. At this age, both the girls and the boys are obsessed with how they look. They will be obsessed with beautification around them. You'll see young men and women checking themselves out in every mirror or their reflection on every glass they see. Very conscious of their looks, making sure their hair is not misplaced, no blemishes on the face. They make sure their t-shirt matches their pants or their shoes, or they are wearing the right brand of clothing. There's this obsession with beautification and being trendy. Sometimes their worth is being assessed by how they look. At this age, they start getting depressed because they think they look ugly because of the freckles, blemishes, or something. Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَلَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ وَزِينَةٌ, beautification. And this is another stage in life. But you know what? You get over that too. You move on. You don't stay in that stage. You mature and you move on. Later, you look back at these stages. Of course, they sound funny or trivial. Once you pass this point, you are in your adulthood. Perhaps you go into college, in most of our cases. You graduate with a good major now, And now you want to get a decent job. You want to be in a competitive field, and so on and so forth. In this stage of life, what takes you over is the urge to prove yourself. Once you receive your bachelor, master, or whatever, you get a diploma. That diploma can go into your drawer or shelf, but no, you frame it and put it somewhere in your office, so people can see your accomplishment. Look at my new ID from my new company, the famous company I just got hired to. Look at my award. Look at my picture with the dean of the college. There is this urge to show everyone what you accomplished. So Allah Azza wa Jal adds, وَتَفَاخَرُوا بَيْنَكُمْ, boasting, showing off amongst each other to prove ourselves. We realize we're worth nothing unless we accomplish certain goals, and that we need to have a respectable job, title, position. But you know what? Even that stage passes, where you're not concerned about boasting, showing off to anybody anymore. You get married, you have children, and those of you who are married and have children can relate to this. In this stage, there are two things that are running through your mind constantly. It's either money or children or both. Two things. How much money is left? What's the balance? Can we pay the bills this month? Can we save? Can we afford to buy a new car or a washer, dryer? Every morning when you start for work and you make your dua before takeoff, you also check to see how your stocks are doing. Then there's the kids. Where are they going to go to school? Which district? Which college? Which university? Who is going to be their friends? Who are they going to be hanging out with? Who are they going to marry? How am I going to afford to pay for their weddings? Can I help them to buy a home? Gotta think about their future. These two things constantly engage your mind. So Allah Azza wa Jal adds to this stage, وَتَكَاثُرُ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ, multiplying in rivalry among yourselves in wealth and children. This sentiment that we have, we all have to gain wealth and stability for children, while we don't know if we're going to live the next hour. But we like to have enough saving to last for next several years. We want to have the safety net. Sometimes to the point it takes over our mind, where we, as a child, go from stage to stage, from playing to entertainment, to beautification, to boasting, to wealth and children, or stability and savings. Those of you who are young in the audience might say, I don't care about stability and savings. I'd say wait till you are older, in your 30s or 40s. Then we will talk. Those who are even younger say, I don't care about buying a home or renting an apartment. Wait till you're older. You know, everyone, anywhere in the world, when you ask them, what do you want to do next? They say, I want to buy a house. It's a universal language. I want to stay in one place, a place of my own, a permanent residence. This is the universal sentiment. Allah Azza wa Jal, out of His mercy, offers this residence where they can stay permanently. In another place, in Surah Al-Hajj, at the end of a very important passage, Quran gives us an axiom in life. At the end of verse 73, chapter 22, it says, ضَعُفَ الطَّالِبُ وَالْمَطْلُوبُ, The seeker and the sought are both inherently weak. Well, this sounds like it's a difficult sentence like a GRE English, but simply put, essentially the verse is saying everybody in this world is seeking something. Everybody is running after something. Everybody is obsessed with something, wanting it badly. Those who are running after things, they are weak, and whatever they are running after is also weak, also flawed. Let's think about this. An example for kids. They see some new game, new toy, new video system coming out. They will come to you constantly asking you, can I get that for Eid? Can you get that for me? Please, please, please. I got good grades. How about these shoes? How about that clothes? They can't sleep without thinking about the new game. And when you finally buy it for them, what happens? They're very excited, very happy in the beginning, but how long does it last? Give them a couple of weeks, then ask them if they are still interested in the same game or video or shoes or whatever it may be. Another 2 weeks, they are interested in the new one. And this happens to adults too. You're interested in a new car. You go and read all about it. Research it on the website. Every few hours, the three-dimensional view, color match interior and exterior. Finally, find the cheapest place to buy it, and you buy it. All excited. You finally done it. You bought it. Then when the new model comes out, you say, oh my goodness. They put a new tail light on it, new optional sports wheels, new streaming audio on Bluetooth. It looks different. It's amazing. I like to get that one. Or in case of the ladies, oh, there's a new curtain and a blind that are vertical. You can open and close them with remote control, or a new diamond ring or a necklace. SubhanAllah, we move from one to the next, to the next, to the next. You remember you shared the room with 1 or 2 other kids in college? You thought, hey, this is a good life. Then you moved to your own apartment. You said, wow, this is big. Then you say, I hate to throw away my money, so I've got to get my own place, a place that I own. So you get a new house. Then you go to a friend's house and you see their 3-car garage, the pool, the gazebo, and you say, wow, did you see that yard? Did you see their pool? You say, yeah. Then you start thinking, maybe we do need a bigger place. We do need a bigger house. There's always something more, always the next house or next thing. So we are weak. Every time we look for something to satisfy us, it eventually disappoints us. We grow out of it. Then we look for something else. It disappoints us also. Then another, then another. ضعف الطالب والمطلوب. The seeker and the sought are inherently weak. This is the status of mankind. But the believer is above this. A believer lives in moderation. In verse 73, Allah Azza wa Jal mentions the seeker and the sought as a problem for a mankind, for all mankind. But we need to notice here, the believers are a notch above that. In fact, in verse 74, the following verse, it says, مَا غَدَرَ اللَّهُ حَقَّ قدره إن الله لقوي عزيز. The mankind do not measure Allah his rightful measure. So verse 73 mentions weakness. Whose weakness? Man's weakness. Then the next verse 74 mentions strength. Whose strength? Allah's. لَغَوِيٌّ عَزِيز. Mankind does not appreciate Allah as he deserves to be appreciated. مَا قَدَرَ اللَّهُ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. The believer then says, my pleasure is what pleases Allah. I seek that. I want that. I seek strength, not the weakness. I seek and draw strength from Allah, not things that are weak and transient. طالب والمطلوب. If I seek Allah, I become strong. As I draw strength from لَغَوِيٌّ عَزِيز, and it will last because it is coming from حَيِّ وَالْغَيُّومِ. When you go after anything else, you become as weak as what you are seeking, what you're going after. We have seen many examples in life regarding this. Someone who financially gets what he really wants, a car, a house, a position, a child, whatever. Then something happens and he loses it or it expires. He put so much effort and time into it, but he lost it. He then goes into this deep state of depression or goes insane, literally, because that is all he was seeking. Whereas if it happens to a believer, he will be patient and persevere because he knows where it all came from and he already had set his expectations. You know the story of the Muslim who owned a car dealership and had a lot full of cars when Katrina hit New Orleans. You know, of course, his car lot was close to the water. He lost all of them, all of the cars, except the one he jumped into to save himself and escape with. You know, if you own a business and lose like maybe even 10, 20, 30%, you might go into this depression, high blood pressure. But to lose it all, well, he may have grieved a little bit, but his attitude was, with a big smile on his face, he said, the one who gave me all this, he can give me again if he wants to. If not, that's all right with me too. Then he said, again with a smile on his face, this actually worked out for me. I used to think about numbers and business when going to sleep at night. But now I go to sleep with dhikr of Allah, with remembrance of Allah. So what he was seeking was beyond few cars in his lot. This is a gift from Allah. So there we find the difference. It is interesting that in the last portion of verse 20, chapter 57, Allah sums it up. After he says, أَعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا لَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ وَزِينَةٌ وَتَفَاخُرُ بَيْنَكُمْ وَالتَّكَاثُرُ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ. Know that life of this world is nothing but play and amusement and beautification and boasting and multiplying among yourselves in quest for more wealth and children. Then gives an analogy, a beautiful parallel. It is like كَمَثَلِ غَيْثٍ أَعْجَبَ الْكُفَّارَ نَبَاتُهُ. It is like the rain that gives delight to the farmer. Here, farmer is, the word kuffar means the one who sows the seed, plants the seed, or the one who covers the land with the seed. As he labors planting the seed, taking care of it, feeding it, he's hoping that it will eventually rain, the seed is going to grow, and at the end of the year, I'm going to harvest, see the fruit of my labor. Then what happens? ثم يهيج فتراه مصفرا ثم يكون حطاما. Then it withers, declines, fades, and then you see it turn yellow, and in the end crumbles into dust. So here it is ready for harvest, but won't last. Before long, it declines, turns yellow, and crumbles into dust. The farmer had all his expectation, yet it soon turns yellow, then dust. Such is life. It starts with play, a passing delight, a beautiful show, mutual boasting, and a quest for wealth and riches and children. And of course, you see this is the truth behind all apparent work and preoccupations. Some commentators have even said the term kuffar, sower or farmer, what we translated, is used deliberately because kuffar, the term kuffar primarily means unbelievers, providing a clear hint to the fact that unbelievers are delighted by the riches of this world. Then it withers, and you can see it turn yellow. It is ready for harvest, but all temporary, lasting but a short while. ثم يكون حطاما. It reaches into fullness, then crumbles into dust. At the end, the life to come has a totally different appearance. People not only should take this into account, but also prepare themselves for it, the life to come. And toward the end of it says, وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ عَذَابٌ شَدِيدٌ وَمَغْفِرَةٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرِضْوَانٌ. In the life to come, there is terrible suffering as well as God's forgiveness and His goodly acceptance and pleasure. So it does not end in a moment like this present world. In a moment, all of it goes to end. It does not crumble into nothing like these withered, faded plants. It involves reckoning, accountability, and continuity. And at the end of the verse, Allah concludes, and we will conclude, وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. The life of this world is no more than a deceptive pleasure, illusion. Its pleasure has no real substance. Its attraction is based on illusion that makes people overlook reality. And, please don't misunderstand or take my statement in a wrong way. I'm not saying you should not have a nice job, nice house, nice car, or nice clothes, and etc., etc. I'm not saying that at all. But if those are the things that are in your heart, not just in your pocket, if those things are what preoccupy you 24/7 and without limit, then there's a serious problem. You can have dunya in your heart even if you have nothing in your pocket, which is still a serious problem. Dunya should not be the only thing you're after. You want to have something more in your heart, something more to aspire, to seek. This is why we see what Allah said about hypocrites, and may Allah protect us all from hypocrisy. One of the punishments as Allah deals with through this subject of deception, as He says to Prophet peace be upon him in Surah At-Tawbah, verse 85, chapter 9, وَلَا تُعْجِبْكَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ وَأَوْلَادُهُمْ. Don't let their wealth and children dazzle you, deceive you. Don't be impressed with it. إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَن يُعَذِّبَهُمْ بِهَا فِي الدُّنْيَا. Allah intends to punish them with these things in this world. Allah wants to punish them by means of their wealth, by means of their children. Yes, Allah will test everyone, every one of us, and often with very things He has given us. When we think carefully about all this, all the life stages and the end result, it immediately appears as a truth, as the Quran states the truth. It does not want us to ignore the life of this world altogether, or to forget the duty requiring us to build human life on this earth. No. Rather, it aims to clarify, to remind us our standards and values so that we rise above the temptation of worldly pleasures, exceeding the limits, because these are all transient, temporary in nature. So, it wants us to rise above such temptations. And rising above such temptations was needed by those addressed in these verses in that time in order to make their faith a reality. It is also needed by us today if we want to make our faith a reality. We ask Allah to help us rise above our temptations. We ask Allah to shower us with His mercy and grant us a goodly life in this world and the hereafter. We ask Allah to help us strengthen our faith so we do not choose pleasures of this world over that of hereafter. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus salihat wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Wassalamu ala man ittaba'a al huda.